What's up, everybody? Welcome to Human Innovation Tarot. My name is Eddie with Imagine Life Development Center, here to do the October bonus love reading for my Virgos out there. If you're new to my channel, I'd greatly appreciate it if you click the like, share, and subscribe button for me. All the other information you need to know is in the description box below. Don't forget to hit the bell notification icon as well, and you can come join me for a free live tarot reading. I apologize to you all that my voice sounds a little bit off. I'm getting over whatever's been going around, but I had time and I didn't want to waste it just because my voice doesn't sound good. So I'm here to do the reading regardless. So I appreciate you bearing with me. So Virgo, what we're going to take a look at is I'm going to pull some cards for your overall energy. And then we're going to look at your main reading here. So we're just going to jump in and just see what comes out. Now, this is going to be good probably until about mid-November. And if this doesn't resonate with you, excuse me, then you can go check the previous video that I did, the previous October reading that I did for you guys. And that's the link will be on the channel. It's the only other video that you'll see on the channel. I had a little bit of a Mercury retrograde hiccup, and my last channel with all my subscribers got blown out by YouTube, and they refused to help me get it back. So here I am, having to start all over again. How fun is that? Okay, your first card is the second chakra. All right, so we're going to talk about that in just a minute here. We're going to see how all the energy relates in just a moment. So this could be indicating that either you have a block or maybe you're utilizing that energy towards something. We'll see. The second energy we have out is the leg up card. Now, this came out in reverse, so I will take it in reverse. This is probably why I'm guessing the second chakra energy is here. But again, we'll see in just a second. Okay, the next card that we have is called, this is a new deck, by the way, the Mist. Trust your inner compass, be led from within. All right, I apologize for that. I took a big risk recording today, but the energy felt right, so. Okay. Okay, so Virgo, the second chakra is all about your creativity. It's about joy, sexuality, your sex life, being patient, fertility, pleasure, all of those things. It's also, if we're in an unbalanced state, it's about feeling guilty, shyness, irresponsible, obviously infertility issues or sexual issues. Could be allergies or eating disorders here, okay? So the leg up card, the second energy here, when it's in the upright position, it means that you basically have like an advantage, or you have people around you that are supporting you. You have supportive energy. In reverse, I feel like right now you guys are in a place where in your love life that things have not been going very well for you. It's not been a very supportive energy for you. And I feel like for a lot of you, you're feeling just kind of like, what's the energy I want to describe it as? Almost like you're lacking desire. It's like you're not interested in it right now. It's almost like you've given up on it for the time being, or you're not focused on it right now. And a lot of it has to do with, I feel like a lot of you guys have gone just through either bad situation after bad situation, or maybe you just came out of a bad situation, or you have the lingering energy of a past bad situation, but something happened where with this mist energy, I feel like you just love is a touchy subject for you right now. There could be a lot of trust issues around it, and you may not trust yourself when it comes to matters of the heart right now. But let's see what else we have here. Okay, so the second card, or this next energy we have, is thoughts. So right now, you guys could be doing a lot of thinking, a lot of pondering. Let me get the next two energies out here. And I feel like this is just reflection. So some of you guys could be feeling nostalgia right now, or you could just be focused on your projects, your work. But when it comes to love, I feel like it's more nostalgic. It's like you're reminiscing, but you're also dissecting. It's like you're trying to really understand, why your love life has been so challenging, or why you've attracted certain energies into your life. Or for some of you that are looking for love, you may be trying to figure out what you need to do to change, or, what is it in my life? What do I have? What control do I have over my life, my situation, to bring love in and avoid these situations that I keep going through? The next energy we have is poverty. And I feel like, and this is like a 5 of Pentacles / 5 of Cups energy, or sub energy attached to it, if you want to call it that. And then the last energy we have is pathway. So I feel this poverty energy really is more attached to almost like emotional or relational poverty. I'm not getting so much of it being financial. I mean, it could be for some of you. I mean, this is technically a love reading, but if career finances come through, then obviously I'm going to, I'll make mention of it. And I feel like that's why with this leg up energy in reverse, it's like, yeah, there's been this emotional poverty that you've been going through, where it's like, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. And no matter how much energy or effort that I seem to put into the people that I meet, it's not reciprocated, or it's a dud, or it doesn't work out, And so it kind of has, I feel like the wear and tear of that, the effects of that continual absence of, what's the word I want to use? Success. The continual absence of success, or seeing the fruits of your labor, has caused you to go into this poverty mentality, where it's like, I don't even know anymore. I don't even know if love is right for me. Maybe I just need to give up on it and focus on something else. And then with the pathway energy here, this is more of like an encouragement. It's about, because it's coming out in conjunction with this energy, which is about, again, trusting your inner compass and being led from within, that all is not what it seems right now, even if it seems really shitty. If your life is your love life seems really just desolate, it's not as it seems, because a path is being made here. You have to continue walking the path. A path will be made forward, is what this is saying. A path will be opened up to you in the near future, but we have to keep walking. And I'm getting a reference here of I'm getting an Old Testament reference from the Bible, actually, of when Israel was led out of Egypt, out of captivity, and they were led into the wilderness, and then they ended up having to circle for 40 years. Well, I imagine for that 40 years, that they were wandering in the wilderness in a circle, basically, that they were like, what's going on here? 40 years is a long time. The actual amount of time it should have taken them to get to the promised land from Egypt was actually only 11 days. But because of their mindset and their mentality, they had to, it's like, according to the Bible, and again, this is subjective, so I'm not religious, I'm just sharing what I'm being given here. They were led through the wilderness for 40 days and 49, or 40 days, for 40 years, because essentially God was wanting the initial, this older generation to die out because they had this belief, they had a mindset. They were still slaves. Even though they became free, they were taken out of their slavery. They still had slavery mentality. They were still carrying the baggage of the past. And so the people who had that paradigm, who had that baggage, that needed to die, that needed to go away. So in a sense here, this metaphor is saying, hey, a path will be opened up towards you, but this poverty mentality cannot go with you into this promised land that you're being led to. So Spirit wants to take you to this promised land. Relationally speaking, I feel like it's more than that. I feel it's also your money, your finances, everything. Really, this is the promised land. You get all the things, the love, the money, the purpose, the how, whatever you want. You have it all. It's coming. But you can't get there with this poverty mentality. So Spirit's saying, if you want to get out of the wilderness, so you're not going in a circle and you're not repeating, having to go around the mountain again and again and again, then you're going to have to let this go, and you're going to have to start trusting Spirit. You're going to tap back into who you truly are and trust this process, even if it feels like, well, I have been, or I did, or this process really took a long time and I didn't see any fruits of my labor. But Spirit's saying you're about to. Okay? This has been a long year, guys. It's been a long, crazy, wild year here. I'm a Virgo, by the way. September Virgo, September 7th. So I can, I can relate to, some of this. Now at the bottom of the deck, we have change. So there it is. There's the proof that the change is coming. Okay? There's the proof that the change is coming. So let's take a look and dive into the overall energy for the reading here, or the main portion of the reading. So we're going to look at your past, present, and future. And then we're going to look at what the major hurdles, obstacles, and challenges have been. And then we're going to look at the advice, what you need to focus on, what you need to do or change to move forward here. And for this, I'm going to be using my new deck. This is the Human Innovation Oracle deck, which I will be selling at some point in the future, but I'm not going to bother you with all that right now. So let's take a look at your past energy. All right, give me just a second, Virgo. I'll be right back. I got to pause the video. I don't want to be hacking all on the video here real quick, so I'm going to try to get this out of my system for a second. I'll be right back. All right, Virgo, I'm back. I apologize for that. So in your past energy, we have transition, which makes sense, especially with this pathway energy being here. So in the recent past, you guys have been going through a transition. I really feel like and when I say recent past, I basically mean this year. So the entirety of this year has been a transitional phase. And I believe it's been that for a lot of people, but especially for you guys. And I feel like you guys have learned a lot, especially in your relationships, as a result of going through this transitional period. Let's take a look at your current or the present energy. Okay, so the present energy we have is mentorship. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull the future energy as well, just to kind of see how it all ties together. But the mentorship energy is telling me that you guys could be focused on your personal development. You could be working with the mentor. You could be just focused on yourself, your own personal development. So mentorship can come in any form. It can come through another human being. It can come through books, podcasts, seminars, courses. I mean, it doesn't have to be a real human being. It could be any avenue of learning, basically. Gaining wisdom and knowledge from any source that helps you improve your life would be considered mentorship. Now, for some of you, you could be focused on mentoring others in some way, shape, or form as well. In a relational capacity, this could basically means that some of you guys have been getting, you've been learning about relationships, taking courses, reading books, everything that I just said, just apply it to relationships. Some of you could be, seeing relationship coaches or counselors, going to therapy, what have you. In your future outcome, we have celebration. So this is like the Three of Cups energy, along with like a Four of Wands kind of vibe. So you guys could be hanging out, meeting new people, going on dates, going to weddings. You could have somebody from your past coming back, or maybe you meet somebody new, celebrating the return of somebody, celebrating a new relationship beginning, getting engaged, getting married. But it's a good time. Like the celebration card is, you're going to be celebrating something very, very good, very positive, so it's your hard work, this transition is paying off in this pathway energy. Like I said before, and we had change at the bottom of this deck. This is that change occurring. So in the near future, I'm going to say before the year is up, you will have met somebody. I think a lot of you are either you're going to be like this. If you're single, you're going to have met somebody. You're going to be starting you'll have either just started dating somebody, or getting a little bit, more serious with somebody that's more of a newer person than not. And if you've been in a relationship for a little while, you're going to be going a little bit deeper, into that relationship, or it might be going to the next level. Like maybe you're celebrating your first milestone together, moving in together, or getting engaged, maybe moving in together, that kind of thing. So what's been the major obstacle or challenge here for you guys? It's really just been staying connected to your higher power, having faith, believing in change, believing that things would get better. It's everything that we said up here at the beginning of the reading here. It's like just really trusting that the universe has your back, that your prayers were heard, that your manifestations that you put out there, your intentions that you put out there, if you're into the law of attraction or whatever you want to call it, that you were trying to manifest love into your life, but, it was almost like you weren't seeing any results. It felt like you were in a desert. It felt like it was like, the heavens were shut and God, source, universe, spirit wasn't listening. And it's just like, it's been, like relationally desolate in your life. Like nothing's happening. Not even, it's like there's no sign of rain, like you're out in the desert and you've been looking for any sign of a cloud or rain, and it's like a drought. It's like there's no clouds, even remotely in the sky. It's like there's no evidence or proof at all that there's anything that's, that was coming your way. And then just out of nowhere, it's like everything starts to shift and change. And so before I even pull the advice card, the higher power energy in this position says the same thing over here that we had at the beginning of the reading, which is you just have to remain faithful. You have to continue pushing forward because a pathway is going to continue to open up for you. And yes, while this has been a difficult, maybe uneventful cycle, or a very disappointing and very hurtful one for some of you because of past relationships and other things, lack of abundance, lack of fulfillment, lack of evidence or results in your life for the seeds that you've planted and the work that you've done. Spirit is saying, no, I've been here the whole time. I've just been working behind the scenes to set you up for the win that you've wanted. Okay. So what's the advice here? Okay. The advice is the collective. Now this card, in the deck that I created basically has everything to do with, well, it has to do with a few things. The first thing is a lot of you, especially with the challenge being the higher power energy, is you need to realize that you are tapped into the collective consciousness. Okay. You have access to the collective consciousness. You do have access to what some may call the Akashic records, right? There is, like on the Magician card, the traditional in tarot. In fact, I'll just grab the deck real quick. It'll take me 2 seconds to find the card. I appreciate your guys' patience with my voice and the hacking, which should be edited out. So hopefully you guys won't hear too much coughing, because I would not, I just wouldn't want to hear that either. So I know you guys don't want to hear all that. Okay, so here's the Magician card. We see the little infinity symbol. That's the connection. And this little rod here pointing up, this is basically like saying, like, it's resembling the, it's almost like a magic wand. Well, where does the magic come from? And he's pointing down to the earth, as above, so below. Or in the Bible, it says, there's a saying in the Bible: call things that are not as though they are, right? Or another phrase is speaking it into existence, right? Sort of, kind of. But essentially, what this is saying is our connection to the divine, the infinite, the collective consciousness here. We call those things from the invisible realm, from the imagination into the real world through the four elements: the swords, the cups, the pentacles, and the wands represented in tarot. This is what we create. And we're the creators of our reality by using the tools that we were given. Now in tarot, there's four tools. You have, again, the swords, the cups, the pentacles, and the wands, but then there's a fifth element. Those are the four, but there's a fifth element. And the fifth element is spirit, the collective. And so the reason I'm explaining this to you is the advice energy is for you to become this magician, is realize that we have to stay connected. We have to stay connected to our higher power in order to manifest and create these things, because we get our information, or the higher power, the information we get from our higher power is part of this divine collective consciousness. Okay. And we all have this, we all share in the collective consciousness. That's why it's called the collective consciousness. And so the advice is we have to remain faithful and diligent in staying connected to spirit as we move forward, because there are things that are happening in your relationships, in your career, in every element of your life. There are things that are happening that are not meant just for us, which is the second part of this energy. So the first part of the advice is Remain connected to spirit so that we can get the downloads and the information about what we need to do, so we don't end up stuck up here in this poverty mentality. But the second energy here is to realize that what's at stake and what's at hand is bigger than ourselves. Your purpose, your relationships, whatever you're working on, Virgo, is meant to serve the collective. We are ushering in something. Okay, you want to call it a new heaven, a new earth, a new dimension, a new vibration, whatever you want to call it. We are meant to raise the collective vibration to transform the human paradigm, the human reality, this life. We're meant to transform this into a new heaven and a new earth. So whatever's happening in your life, it's bigger than you. There's a lot more at stake here than just your romance and just your money and all this. So your partnerships, your jobs, the businesses you're creating, all these things, they have a spiritual purpose that's meant to serve the collective. Of course, it's okay for you to have personal wants and desires, of course. That there's nothing selfish about that. But we need to understand that it's about something greater than just us. It's not just about getting a relationship just because I'm lonely and I want love and partnership, or starting a business just because I want freedom and financial security. Nothing wrong with those things. That's part of it, but it's bigger than that. Okay. So and for a lot of you, the relationships that you have, they're meant to serve a greater purpose than even just the relationship itself. Okay. And that's really what that primary energy of this card is, the advice card, is because without that awareness, and just thinking like, well, it's just about me and my little life. No, there's something bigger at stake here. Okay. So Virgos, you're playing your life, your role, whatever everything going on in your lives right now. There's something about this time where we all our little, 1/12, because there's 12 zodiac signs, 1/12 of the zodiac, our little section, our little corner of the zodiac. There's something that we're supposed to be doing. There's an emphasis on things that we're supposed to be accomplishing to help the rest of the zodiac, the rest of the collective. So there's an emphasis on us, on our part. And there might be an astrological reason for this. I don't keep up with all the astrology stuff. I'm trying to learn it. But, I've heard that this year, the earth signs were going to be more affected by one of the planets or retrogrades, or something was in our house. Maybe it was Jupiter. I forget which one it was. But, I do recall that a lot of the, these eclipses or retrogrades or whatever that we've been going through, we're going to be affecting the earth signs a little bit more intensely than the other 11 zodiacs for whatever reason. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and pull some final advice here, or just some additional cards here. I'm going to use this tarot deck, and we're just going to look at just a few other things before we close out the reading. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is our energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have the Hermit, which is our major arcana, Virgo. And then we have the Seven of Cups. So, Knight of Pentacles, which is staying consistent. The Knight of Pentacles may be slow, but he's loyal, he's faithful, he's consistent, and he keeps going forward. Okay, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Whatever obviously this is more of a relationship reading, but this applies to anything in your life, which is saying, keep moving. The path is unfolding. It may not seem like we're out of the woods yet, but keep going. Stay true to your energy. Stay true to that, the wisdom that we've been given, and understand again, this is about staying connected down here to this higher power energy, and everything is said about the collective, that we are here to use our wisdom and our knowledge to help other people because of this mentorship energy as well. We're being handed knowledge and wisdom to be mentors, to help people. The hermit is extremely wise. He's got a lot of wisdom. We've learned a lot. We've gone through a lot. We've transcended a lot. And all that knowledge will come in handy in our relationships, but it's also going to benefit others as well. Now, I will say that in terms of love and relationships, the Knight of Pentacles and the Hermit energy is saying that for most of you, you're single and you're focused on your work, you're focused on your finances. A lot of you haven't been focused on relationships right now, which makes sense because of, again, this poverty card and the leg up energy in reverse. It's like, which was the energy I was getting at the beginning of the reading, that we've probably gone through some troubled relationships in the past, or you're just burnt out on relationships in general right now. So you're like, you know what? I'm going to go put my time and energy and focus on other things because this area of my life is a dead end. Nothing's happening. No matter what I do in this area of my life, it's like I can't get something to grow. I plant the seeds, I water it, I do everything right, and nothing happens. So screw it. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go, utilize my energy elsewhere. So that's really what that's the additional advice, or the additional wisdom that's coming from this here. And then the last, we have the Seven of Cups. So there's, this is also about, you're going to have a lot of options in the future. So when that pathway starts to open up, you're probably going to have a lot of options relationally. So don't be surprised if all of a sudden it goes from nothing for a long time. It's like, again, no sign of water, no sign of rain, no sign of any opportunities at all. And then boom, out of nowhere, it's like, oh my gosh, now I'm overwhelmed with options. This person. It's like all of a sudden, all these people start coming out of the woodworks who are interested. And you're just like bombarded with opportunities to go date people, go out and do things, meet people. It's like all of a sudden, it's like you win the relationship lottery and you have all these choices available to you. Now, for some of you, this is a card of confusion. Okay. So this is like, I'm really confused about life right now, and where I want to go from here, from this energy, from the Knight of Pentacles to the Hermit, spending your time alone, to where do I want to go from here? And that's mostly for the people who don't come out of this poverty mentality energy up here. Okay. But for those of you that heed the advice of this reading, these last two cards that I was explaining down here, if you heed that advice, then you have a whole world of opportunities that are going to open up for you. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress energy, Taurus, Libra. So this is you either finding your divine feminine soulmate. This could be for those of you that are focused on just career right now and you want to continue to focus on career. This is you falling into your abundance. Some of you might be giving birth metaphorically to a new job, a new project, a new passion, starting something. So for others of you, this is you getting the rewards of your labor financially or whatever resource. And for a really small, tiny group of you, some of you could literally be getting pregnant, or somebody in your community, your family, your circle might be pregnant or having a child. And maybe that's something you're celebrating in the near future with that celebration energy. It's like, oh, hey, like my son or my daughter or my daughter-in-law, whoever. They are, they're giving birth, that they get, they're pregnant or something. Okay. but it's a good sign. The Empress is positive energy. Okay, so let's get some final cards here for you guys. And these are just angel romance messages for those of you that are definitely looking for love. So if you got this far in the reading and you're not really just looking for love, like, yeah, you know what? I'm not really looking for love. Then this last part of the readings, you could probably click off now. Because these cards really are just strictly geared towards relationships. First card out we have is chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here is what it says. Okay, a bunch flew out. So I'll take them. Here's chemistry. So you meet somebody who you have strong chemistry with. Or I should say you will meet somebody, or could be meeting somebody, or maybe with somebody. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So, this might be if you're out, or you're out and about and you meet somebody, or maybe you're getting to know somebody, but they can't really tell how you feel. It's saying, hey, let them know. Express, be vulnerable, open up, let them know, because they may not know. Some Virgos aren't, we're more practical. We're not necessarily, some of us may not be necessarily very, what's the word I want to say? Emotionally expressive at times. Not everyone, but some people. Now, for some of you, we have calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together, which, this is what I was saying the whole time throughout this reading, that love was going to come in. And that was I think it was down here in the challenge position with higher power. In fact, I think I specifically said, some of you have been feeling like you've been praying, manifesting, you've been doing all the things, and you haven't been getting any results. So you started to give up on it. You started to fall into that poverty mentality, and Spirit's like, no, I got your back. The pathway is going to open up. A lot of you are going to have a lot of options. For some of you, children, your love life is being affected by children. So you either have children, or you're going to meet somebody who has children, or, however that plays, and only you'll know. I mean, obviously children have to be there either in your life or somebody else's life for this card to come out. So, the children are going to be a part of whatever this is. For some of you, not all of you. And then we have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Yeah, so I feel like this is for those of you who are a little bit gun shy, cynical, skeptical, exhausted. You're like, hey, you know what? I'm tired of putting all the work and effort in. I'm tired of being the one who gives and gives and gives. So you might just kind of be like pulled way back. And then you meet someone you like, and it's almost like you're punishing this new person for the crimes committed by past people. And you have to find that balance of not being an overgiver, but not pulling so far back that that person thinks that you're a breadcrumber, or that you're unavailable or whatever. You want to find that balance between like, hey, you know what? Maybe I don't need to go, full blast, because I've been guilty of this, where you give 100% when you meet somebody. And it's like, hey, we're just going to kind of go step by step here, and as the relationship progresses, your effort or the amount that you give kind of steadily progresses with the growth of the relationship, if that makes sense. And then at the bottom of this deck, we have release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So for some of you, not all of you, but for some of you, you may have had an ex in the past and you need to release that energy so that a new or better person can come in. Okay, now, last but not least, I'm just going to get some closing messages here. That one flew out. Intense. The intensity of a true soul connection includes great highs and great lows. So, some of you guys might be, and I know I have been in the past, people have, they've told me that I'm very intense, and I can come across that way sometimes. I'm very passionate about certain things. Some of you, maybe you guys have had that criticism, or maybe when you fall in love, there is an intensity there. Okay. But you can also talk about maybe the next person that you meet. There's an intensity in that energy when you meet this person. And that's kind of how you know that's the person that you want to pursue. Because again, the Seven of Cups here is about having a bunch of options. And you may choose the one where you feel that intensity, which isn't bad. It's just, it is what it is. The next is challenges. All true soul connections involve challenges that can be overcome together. So yeah, it's just saying, hey, just because you experience challenges in a connection doesn't mean that person is wrong. I tell people, because I also do relationship coaching in addition to tarot. And I tell people all the time, it's like when you choose a person, you choose a set of problems. It's just a matter of what set of problems are you comfortably willing to tolerate. Some people come with problems that are deal breakers that you won't tolerate. Other people's problems aren't that big of a deal to you, so you're willing to tolerate them. But at some point, no matter who you get, who you end up with, who you marry, who you date, you're going to end up having to tolerate problems or challenges because no one's perfect. We all come with some type of problem. We all do something that's going to rub our partner the wrong way. So just don't fall into that trap that just because you start having friction in a relationship doesn't mean that person's wrong for you. Okay. So, it's just one of those things to, don't be cynical. Don't be skeptical. Don't be gun shy. Especially if you've had a lot of difficult relationships or really painful past relationships. Give people a chance. Give everybody a clean slate, right? Somebody new comes into your life, give that new person a clean slate. Yin and yang. Okay. So like the yin yang symbol, twin flames contain an aspect of each other's character within themselves. So some of you could be meeting your twin flame, or you have a twin flame relationship that comes back together. Or this is also advice just saying, hey, when you meet somebody, just recognize that there is a mirroring aspect. And while there's a mirroring aspect, there's also a difference. There's an opposing element. So in some ways, you guys are going to be identical. In other ways, you're going to be polar opposites. And if you can respect that and learn to see the power and how this unique divine energy works together and flows together, it can be very empowering. At the bottom of the deck, we have moment. Think of a special moment that brought you much joy with your partner. And I feel like that this is just an additional piece of advice saying, no matter what you've been through, we can all think back on a relationship where we had good memories, good moments. Even the relationships that really hurt us. I mean, if you think back on some of your worst relationships, I'm sure there's at least one moment that you had with that person that you could say, well, yeah, we did have a really good time this one time. We went here, we did this, or whatever experience, like whether it's big or small, no matter what that experience was, we all have something we could probably look back and say, man, there was this one good memory or good time that really sticks out to me. And if you can't think of just one, even if it's a really small moment, then, I question that. It's like, I feel like you really have to be fueling and focusing on some type of bitterness or unforgiveness if you can't come up with one, even if it's a tiny little good moment. But I feel like the advice is, don't always get so consumed with the negative. Even if you had back to back negative experiences, remember that there's always a treasure in a pile of shit. And that just because maybe you've had a lot of shitty experiences doesn't mean the next one has to be. Okay? So if you take all the treasures from all the piles of shit that you've gone through, well, you're rich because you got a lot of treasure. Right? And then know that at some point in the future, there's going to be one experience that isn't a shitty experience. It's one that you can actually take to the bank and be like, hey, you know what? This person was worth the wait. Okay. So I'm not going to go on and preach too much on that anymore, but Virgo, this is what I have for you guys. Again, I apologize for the trying to recover here. Now that I actually did the reading, I probably think, man, maybe I should have waited to completely come out of this. But, today was such a good day and I felt like doing a reading despite the health hurdles. But hopefully this reading made sense. I appreciate your patience with me, the voice, the coughing, all the things. And if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate if you click the like, share, and subscribe button for me. Come join me sometime for a free live tarot reading. And I will see you guys all very soon. And as always, my friends, love and light.